Hello, welcome to the Summers Woodworking Show. This is Season 3, Episode 33, and tonight we're talking about why woodworking. 4 years ago, there was only a handful of woodworkers that were on YouTube. Nowadays, it seems like everybody's doing it, so I ask you, are you a woodworker that's on YouTube, or are you a YouTube woodworker? That being said, are you in it for the money, fame, inspiration? We'll start off with roll call, and then I'll have Shannon, my co-host, start asking some questions. Let's see here. We'll start with you, Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy Gonzalez. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all under Tommy G Workshop. And I recently made a website. It's tommygworkshop.wix.com.
Okay, and what kind of woodworking do you do, Tommy?
I do a lot of shop projects right now. I've done some furniture, some cabinet, but it's mostly just shop projects right now.
Okay, cool. How about you, Todd? You want to tell people who you are and what you do and where you can be found?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Todd Richardson. I've got a website that's kind of in, I don't know. I haven't quite launched it yet, but it's woodfrontier.com, and it's going to be about, all the cool stuff you can do with woodworking. And I started woodworking about 5 years ago, and I've done some furniture, and recently I've purchased a lathe, so I've really been focused on that for whatever reason. There's a pretty good
It's a good reason.
pretty good club in town. Actually, there's like 85 of these old timers that show you how to use stuff and do things. So that's really cool and been a huge boost to all of my woodworking, not just that discipline.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay. How about you, Shannon?
Shannon Fargo. You can find me on YouTube under my name, at Facebook and Instagram under Fat Guy in a Little Shop. And what do? I take perfectly good boards and make a mess out of them. So I don't know that I've got any one particular type. I am into cutting boards at the moment. There's something kind of addictive about them, and that's kind of, I don't know, my current thing, but I've done everything from small furniture to knickknacks, patty wax, things like that. So, and then whatever my wife wants, that's the important part.
Okay.
Got to keep the boss happy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I was trying to see where we're getting an echo from. Everybody's got headphones on. Huh. Okay, well, anyway. Russell, you want to tell us who you are and what you do and where you can be found?
Sure. Russ Clarity. I'm with Simply Wooden Creations. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, and I have a website also, and it's all under Simply Wooden Creations. It's simplywoodencreations.com.
And what kind of woodworking do you do, sir?
I like, my predominant is I like to do scroll saw. I love to do scroll work, but I have a full-blown wood shop, so I'm not limited to it. I can pretty much do anything I want to do. I have done I've been a general contractor in the state of Florida for over 20 years, but I can do cabinets, I can do entertainment systems, I can do pretty much anything I want. But predominantly, I really like doing scroll saw work. I like it. It's kind of like when I get behind the scroll saw and start scrolling, it's kind of like having a good shot of Jack Daniels. It just chills you out and you can keep going.
Go with the flow.
It relaxes me. It really does.
Okay, David, you want to tell people who you are and You know the routine. You're muted still.
Okay, there. You had me muted. It wasn't me.
Well, I muted everybody trying to see where the echo's coming from.
I got you. I'm David Gunn with DLG Woodwork. You can search for me on YouTube, DLG Woodwork. I have a website, dlgwoodwork.com, and I do a wide range of woodworking. I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none, as they say. I've been woodworking for about almost 9 years now, but just on YouTube as of this year. And I make a wide range of projects. I really don't have a favorite except for when my wife tells me well done. Those are my favorite projects.
No, that's cool. Okay, how about you, Chris?
All right, Chris Ahern. You can find me on Facebook under Old Cranky Workshop. I do a little bit of everything. I try everything once or twice. If I like it, I'll do it again. I've done furniture for the house. I've done beer mugs. I've done Noah's Arks. You name it, I've tried it. I've done it. Starting to get into lathe. Got one for Christmas and slowly learning more and more about it. So that's about it. Also, renovating our old house. That occupies a lot of my free time. I don't get a lot of shop time as much as I want to. So, but that's about it.
Okay, cool. Well, like I said, tonight's topic, we're talking about why woodworking. And I've been at this game for about 4 years now. And when I first started, it was an inspiration just to do woodworking. And Steve Ramsey was the one that got me inspired to do this YouTube thing. And to get back into woodworking in general. Let's see here. My first project I did was, well, it was a work table. I was going to do that for my computer business at the time. And I was going to make my little shop into a computer shop for repair and all kinds of other things. Well, after I built that workbench, I got the fever, like Shannon says. I started working the wood, and then I was like, well, you know what? That looks like fun, and I got the space, so I'll go buy me a little table saw. So I bought one of those cheap old table saws, and started making stuff after that, and then I started acquiring more tools, and then it came an addiction more than anything. Just getting the tools and working the wood, and I figured, well, I got my YouTube channel, might as well make some videos, and then learning all that process, it was addicting because it was something new for me anyway. I also like doing a lot of videotaping and stuff, but I usually kept that stuff to myself. But to see somebody else watching my stuff and commenting on what I'm doing and giving me that praise, it became an addiction for me. I needed more of that. And now as today I'm talking, I still look for that inspiration, and I also like hearing the nice comments from all you guys. But I tell you what, when somebody really gives you a low blow and says, it's not, and I usually get comments on my channel that's negative, but it's never towards my woodworking. It's always towards my physical appearance. And those guys get deleted these days. Yeah, I don't got time for that. But anyway, how about you, Tommy? What's your story, man? You're muted, son.
Okay, here we go. All right, I've only actually been woodworking for about 2 years. Before that, I'm a metal worker by trade, so I just like building stuff in general with my hands. But I originally got into woodworking. Like everything else, when I'm trying to learn something, I go to YouTube.
Is this sound going out on you guys, or is it just me?
Yep, fading in and out.
You'll be talking, next thing you know, it fades out. And I'm like, huh?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, maybe I just got to get closer to my mic. I don't know. But like I was saying, anytime
You're off again. It's weird. I'll kind of like hear background noises, but your voice goes away.
it's got to be my mic then. I may need a new mic now. Got my internet fixed, and now my mic is out. Go figure.
First it was the computer, now it's the internet, now it's microphone. See, it never ends with those guys, huh?
If it's not one thing, it's everything. So.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'll try this one more time. If I'm cutting out, you could just skip me. But like I was saying, whenever I'm
It's not until he starts his story.
it just doesn't like my story, I guess.
It's everything else you said, it's picked up. And when you actually start to tell your story, I'm not kidding, it drops out.
It doesn't like my story, so I'll just skip my story.
You're being sensitive.
It's almost comical. I mean, it's like you start like 3 or 4 words and then it goes out.
The exact same spot, huh?
Now I'm muted. Say it real fast. Maybe we'll cut you off.
All right. Well, I watch YouTube. I started watching Izzy and Jay Bates and got into woodworking.
Okay, stop. You're paused. There we go. Now I can hear you. Okay.
All right. It's seriously time for a new mic. So I got the fever from there, and
Oh, Lordy.
anyways, go ahead and skip me. That's
Hey, I tell you what, since
I think the Tommy G story is going to be a mystery.
well, why don't you type it in the chat section and one of us will read it off. Oh, sorry, Tommy. I don't know why I muted you. Okay, Todd, you want to tell us your story?
Yeah. So, like I mentioned earlier, I started woodworking about 5 years ago. I took one class in high school shop. It was like 1/4 long, so it wasn't. I didn't actually learn anything. We mostly sanded this canoe all semester or the whole time. But my grandfather was, he was a carpenter when I was a kid. And he always had like small little whimsical projects, and like a little coin bank where you put it in and there's a mouse trap so it exploded and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I really didn't do any woodworking my whole life, and then about 5 years ago, there's news that oh hey, I'm going to be a dad pretty soon, and I don't know why, but like I stressed out about all kinds of things, and one of them was how many sweater vests do I need to buy, and how many and like what am I going to do? But one of the things was, oh, I'm going to build a crib. And it's a good thing I decided that before I knew what I was doing, because holy cow, like I didn't know, what a mortise was or like anything. So I started, watching YouTube videos. There was really only like a couple of them at that time. And, you know, one of them was the build a milk crate with this elaborate router setup from Matthias, and the if you know what I'm talking like, that scared me quite a bit. And then about that time, you know, Woodworking for Mere Mortals was getting kicked off, and he had a couple videos up that said, "You're a woodworker in the 21st century. You need power tools," and he throws out his hand tool and or his handsaw.
I love that video.
So that was one of the first ones that I watched when I decided I was going to start, and I just kind of started and didn't really have much of a space to do it, so I was kind of like on the weekends I could pull everything out and do some stuff and then push it all back in, and yeah, but now I got a little bit more space and I can start having more fun.
So do you got a dedicated shop?
Well, I do, but my wife insists on parking her car in it.
Hey man, you ain't learned yet. Cars don't live inside the shop. Need to build her a carport.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey. That's cool. How about you, Shannon? You want to tell people your story?
Well, it's mostly boring, but my mouth got me into it. As far as I guess about 7 or so years ago, I had done projects around the house. You know, you always get a honeydew, and there's something that needs done, shelves need put up, all kinds of stuff. So I've been doing that forever. Well, not forever, but you know, for as long as we had a house. But as far as where I'm at now, it kind of started about 7 years ago when I was talking some trash. My wife was buying these little crosses and stuff from Hobby Lobby, and I lipped off something, I can do that. And she responded, "Oh, you can? Really? Well, you should do that." And, well, you know, that's a bottle bandsaw or something like that, you know. It's okay. Well, what is that going to run us? And so I was in a pawn shop one day and found a little benchtop 9-inch Delta bandsaw and bought it and realized...
He's early this time.
His Amtrak, he's quieter than the other ones. But I realized I really hadn't messed with a bandsaw ever before. It'd always been circular saws and things like that. So that was my first thought was, well, I wonder if anyone's ever done anything on YouTube about a bandsaw. And the first video that came up was Wood Whisperer's review of his. It's like one of his early episodes. So he's got this giant floor model, Powermatic, you know, aircraft carrier size bandsaw, and so I'm watching the video and I'm looking at my little bench top and I'm looking at the video and yeah, that's not gonna work on mine.
Yeah, tell me about it. I seen the one with David Marks, man. His is huge.
and so you know you can't just scale that down because there's a lot of difference between those two. But that's the first video I intentionally remember looking up on the internet. And
yeah, we're playing with toys.
That's like Fisher Price should be on the side of my bandsaw because you know I thought I was one. This thing, you know, he's running trees through this thing. Like, yeah, look at it. And I'm
you're over there with 2x4.
How well,
oh, Lordy.
Okay. So anyway, that was.
Shannon, you always get me laughing. I swear.
It was something, and so that's, of course, and then probably after watching some other of his, I saw the video where Steve interviewed him, and that was my first exposure to Ramsey. At which point, I'm basically like, "Who is that guy?" You know. So there's a whole nother tangent, and I don't know, whatever possessed me to start making videos. I'm still not entirely sure, because I've been at it for a little over a year now, producing videos anyway, and still don't know why I even bother. But it's fun, and I get the occasional commenter or the occasional like or whatever, and that's kind of cool. It does reinforce that, you know, am I wasting my time sort of thought you have every once in a while in making content. So just something you want to keep doing then. It does get a little addictive, but for me though, I'm more about the work more so than the videos, because there's other guys that have started after me, you know, and have way more subscribers, way more views, way more projects, and that's fine. I'm trying to get work churned out of here and, you know, make a buck or two on it. So, but you know, that's just my little take on it all.
Okay, cool. Russ, you want to tell us why you started woodworking or YouTube or however you got into what you're doing now?
Well, it started back in 1958 when my mother dropped me off on the steps of the orphanage, and I really got pissed off and didn't talk to anybody for 2 years. Oh, we're talking about woodworking. I'm sorry, we were talking about woodworking. So, so no, I was actually born and raised into woodworking. My grandfather was a woodworker. My father was a woodworker, and I think my great-grandfather was a woodworker. So I was born into it. So it was instilled in me at a young age. I'm talking about from knee-high to a grasshopper. I used to go out on the wood or the job site where my father was working, and my mother used to take him lunch every day. And you have to realize I was born back around the time of the turn of the century, you know, the dinosaur age and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there wasn't no, when I was a kid, there wasn't a 7-Eleven or a Circle K. So we would take him lunch every day, and that's where I got into it. As a young age, he started me out. I think I was probably 8 or 9 and 10 years old when I first went out on the job sites and actually started going with him and working with him during the day. He did a lot of trim work. Started me out doing as a trim carpenter, putting baseboard down. God, I hate it. So,
yeah, my grandpa, he was a general contractor, owned his own business, and he started building buildings. And my uncle, he worked for my grandpa. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's always been instilled inside of me, and I've done woodworking my entire life. Trust me. I've got things that are 30, 40 years old that I've built. And so it's always been a part of my life. Now, as far as YouTube goes, I kind of got inspired by a few of my friends that I began to know. One of them is Charles Deering. I started meeting and talking to Charles Deering. We first met on Steve Good's forum. That's where we met. And so he started doing some videos, and I started watching some videos, and that kind of got me inspired to go onto YouTube. My reason for YouTube, I just thought it was pretty cool. I thought I'd try it. So, you know, I figured if I could help, you know, I figured if I could get somebody to watch my videos, and actually I have had a lot of people say that they've learned stuff from me. They've some of the techniques I use, some of the videos I've done, they've learned things from it. So that's what inspires me now. No, I'm not. I'm a woodworker that does YouTube videos. I'm not in it for the money because, by God, I ain't made a damn dime yet. So I'm not into it for the money, that's for sure. But no, if I can teach or show somebody, I say teach, I didn't mean, if I can show somebody and they can pick up on it and it makes their life a little easier or makes their project a little better, that's what I'm here for.
Hey, I got a quick question, Russ.
Sure.
Do you have elves in your shop?
Do I have elves in my shop? They come the third Wednesday of every week.
Oh, okay, cool. So, it is true. You are Santa Claus.
Yep. They come the third Wednesday of every week to help me out around here. God, I need it. That's for sure.
I'm sorry, Russ. I was just trying to play.
That's right. I mean, in all sincerity, when this first started out going this beard thing, it started actually November of last year, and so once it started and I got into it, and I'm like, wow, this is a thick beard. I never thought in a million years it'd get this thick. So I am going to. We're looking at Santa suits, my wife and I, right now, and I am going to do Santa Claus this year for Christmas. I figure there's some old folks' homes, nursing homes, and some other places that could probably use a good laugh. And hey, with my big old belly, I'm right in for it.
I was going to say, it probably doesn't have anything to do with kids or not. Mama just wants him to wear a Santa suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's styling, yo.
Yeah. I would say something, but I'm trying to keep this PG-13. Keep my mouth. But it has to do with the North Pole, though.
Okay. David, it's your turn, son.
See if I can steer this thing out of the ditch here. I started woodworking. We moved into our house about 10 years ago or so, and started doing some furniture projects around the house. Is kind of how I got into it. And it was always, for me, for years, it was just a solitary, woodworking. It's just me and my shop, and that was it. And then I started discovering, I found the Wood Whisperer actually through his website. It was funny. I watched videos on his website before I ever even knew that he was on YouTube. And then I just stumbled onto YouTube one day to watch him, and I was like, wait, he's not the only one doing this? There's a whole community of folks. And then really that's when I started watching a whole lot of people on YouTube, and it became kind of a way to share, at least, for me, I got involved in a couple of woodworking forums and was really active there, and it was just a way to interact with people doing the same thing as me all over the world, all over the U.S. and all over the world. And then some guy named Brian Gidney hosted a contest, a 2x4 contest, and I thought, well, that might be fun to enter, but I don't do videos. And I was actually watching Brian McCauley. He makes a lot of his videos. He's made tables. He's made a few other things, but he's really into large tables. And he was talking about his video and about how he just shot it with a smartphone. And I was like, well, hey, I could do that. I could set up a smartphone and shoot a video. So that's when my first video for the 2x4 contest, it was all shot with my smartphone, and I made that sign, that DLG Woodwork sign, and hung in my shop. And that's how I got into YouTube, was thanks to, like I said, some Brian Gidney guy. If y'all see him, y'all tell him thank you for me.
That's cool, David.
But I also, I'm kind of in the same boat as Russ. The why I do it, it's fun to make videos and interact and be part of the community. But if I could teach one person one trick, one tip to make their projects or their woodworking more fun, it's all worth it for me. I'm not really in it for the money, and I've actually this is still kind of new to me. It's kind of a dream that's kind of coming up for me. I'm thinking that maybe down the road I wouldn't mind teaching woodworking in some form, whether it be like an online type of thing. This is not to try to get rich or make a bunch of money or anything, but just to be able to get some stuff out there that I know that I've learned over the years and picked up, from guys like you over the years, just to be able to teach new woodworkers, because I think, there's a lot out there for new woodworkers to learn from. But I think, just kind of combining that into one spot, maybe not just me, but, a couple other folks teaching it. So, I really love just to be able to be a part of the community and hopefully, be able to teach somebody and make their woodworking more fun.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I tried to help build up a community this year, with woodworkers on YouTube. That really picked up.
Yeah, I enjoy that. I need to post there more.
I'm at the point right now, why should I even post anything on my main page or my business page? Because I don't get no interaction, and then I go over to Woodworkers on YouTube, and everybody's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, David did bring up a good point, though, because about making a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends like you, Brian, and David, Shan, and all y'all that I would have never, ever, ever met or known if it hadn't have been for YouTube and these shows.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the reason I made the show is pretty much wanted to get to know all you woodworkers that are out there. I remember when I first started doing YouTube videos, I had a friend, his name is Khalid Magee. He's from Africa. And I was like, holy cow, somebody from Africa is actually watching my YouTube videos? I'm like, that was crazy, you know? And, I mean, today it's not so much of a big thrill, but, I mean, at the beginning, I was like, God, clear over in Africa, and then you got people in Germany watching you, and, you know, you got people in China. You're like, this is crazy. And then, making this show, I was able to meet everybody that was from these countries, you know, and get to know them on a more personal level than just seeing what they're making on YouTube, you know. So that's why I like this show, and I also like Woodworkers on YouTube, because that group has really grown. And I remember talking to my buddy Joe Ness. He runs a group called I know it, I can't think of it. Something Fine Workshops or something like that. I can't remember. I'm sorry, Joe, if you're watching this. But anyway, he gave me the idea. He says, you know what, you should do something, you know, make a group. Those take off a lot better than, you know, your personal or business page. And I was like, oh, yeah? He says, yeah, a lot of people like to join them. And I was like, well, how about Woodworkers on YouTube? And now we're up past 7,000 members, so that was pretty cool. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. David. If nobody watching is leaving any questions, come on, guys. Got 6 of you. At least ask a question or share your story. Anyway, we'll get over to Chris. Get his story.
Well, the hard part of going last is everybody took the good punchlines about years. But anyways, now I'm the son of a contractor, and my grandfather was a master craftsman. So it's kind of been in my blood the whole way through. We learned as a kid, when the old man asks you got anything going on today, always have plans, because you are going to the job site if you don't. So we learned early on how to cut a joint, how to do crown molding, things like that. So, but you know, it also became a necessity when we bought this old house. It turned out to be a lot more work than we expected. So I really had to bring my skills back up, and unfortunately lost the old man, so I couldn't rely on him. But it's amazing how much they were still there. Once I got the right equipment and the right tools, the knowledge just started coming back, and I'm still learning. I mean, this whole group here and the other chat shows, I learned something almost at every chat show I go on to. I've learned to stay away from the CNC and X cards. Sorry, I had to take that shot. But yeah, I've always picked up something on one of these shows. It always amazes me. I've come a long way in 11 years of having an actual hard shop now. I used to work on the back porch of an apartment, and when the weather turned wet and cold, the workshop was closed. But now I've got a garage and with a hard floor, and it's dry and not always warm, but it's dry. So we won't complain too much about that. As far as videos, you know, like you said, Brian, you started me off with that first 2x4 one I did. I've watched everybody else's.
Yeah.
Once I did that first one, I was like, you know what? The hardest part was editing, actually. So if I can get it done early, I get plenty of time to edit. So I got into that part now. I'm not going to go out and start doing lesson videos and stuff like that. I've got a real job to go to every day. So, but maybe when I'm retired, no, I'll come back and do some of those type of videos. But right now, it's just for fun. I got this rough end of a birdhouse going right now, so I don't know who started that one. But that's about it. So.
Okay, cool. Let's see. John Schaffner says, okay, what satisfies you the most when you're in your shop? Beer.
My wife.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
Leave it to Santa. Drive us back in the ditch.
Well, you asked.
Or is she satisfied that you're in the shop?
Yes. Yeah, she's satisfied I'm in the shop and leaving her alone.
You know, the most satisfying feeling that I get when I'm in my shop is when I first go in there and smell all the dust. Especially if you're milling up cedar and stuff.
Yeah.
What
The most
satisfies
satisfying, the most satisfying time I have when I go in my shop is when I first walk in, if those elves have cleaned the damn shop up or not.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that's the most depressing part, when you have to clean it all up. But yeah, I got to keep mine clean, otherwise I can't do nothing in there.
You have to have a ritual and force yourself, because I'm the same way. It's like when you get through with a project, I mean, you have to. I mean, sometimes I work on a project and late, and then I leave everything out. But the next morning, I hate walking through that door and after. The first thing you got to do is start putting things away and cleaning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Heck, right now it takes me more time to find something than it does to build a project.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Oh, the thing I hate the most is, you just had that thing in your hand, and you go to look for it, you can't find it, and it's laying underneath something.
Oh yeah. Been there, done that.
to John's question?
Yeah, I think we nailed what we don't like about the shop. What do we like about going out there?
I got an answer for John. John, one of the most satisfying things in my shop is whenever I do a technique or solve some kind of problem for the first time. You know, if I'm building a project and I come to a part that, you know, maybe I've never done it this way, or, you know, I run into an issue where maybe I cut something too short, or, you know, you got to figure out a way to fix it. Overcoming that, you know, doing something for the first time and it working out well, or overcoming a problem, that's, for me, that's usually the most satisfying part. That, or when a project's finished. But usually by the time a project's done, I've got the next project about halfway designed in my head. So I think overcoming obstacles and you know, new techniques for the first time is probably my most satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say probably the finished product's mine. Just saying, you know, I built this with my own two hands. It's just very satisfying for me. So.
Oh yeah, there's something great about that. I built a good chunk of the furniture in our house, and it's kind of cool when you're sitting there in the kitchen and you built the cabinets, and you know, people come in and say, "Hey, where'd you get those?" Like I point to the garage, you know, and, out there.
I made that.
Yeah. The funny part is you see the flaw in it. You know, you're looking at it and you know where the flaw is, but no one else is noticing it. You
know what, Chris? What am I trying to say? What makes the difference between an amateur and a pro is knowing how to fix those mistakes. Because I tell you what, there's no pro in this world that's never made a mistake.
As my dad used to tell me, if they don't see it, it wasn't a mistake.
Yeah. If he claims he don't make mistakes, he's a liar.
Absolutely, yep. So, I mean, I've got 2 commission pieces going right now, and I usually don't do that. It kind of takes the fun out of it for me. One is a simple mirror frame, but I've been obsessing about that all day.
Yeah.
Should have taken me about 2 hours. I've been working on it for about 5.
Let's see. Jerry on here goes, Whirligig Wars. Laney and Steve got me hooked, and I think I could handle doing it. Then started building for the farmers market and lived at that for a couple years, watching Carmichael rule the YouTube. Yeah, tell me about it. Me and Carmichael pretty much started off the same time, and that boy got it. I'm still left field.
Who the heck's Carmichael?
Carmichael's unique though. He comes up with some unique projects.
He is my bro, I swear. I learned a lot from him, and I just wish some of that would stick. I mean, as far as thinking outside the box, I'm more of a, if I need something, I'll build it kind of dude. He builds shit, that just...
Like a wooden football?
You're like, yeah, like what in the world? Why would you build something like that? It's cool, but why would you build something like that? Okay.
I met Steve this past July when I was down in Atlanta. He's the real deal. Everybody I've met on these things is usually pretty much exactly what they put out there on the screen, but he really, really is. He's genuine. He's open. He's full of ideas, full of fun.
I mean, I look at his early videos, not to try to cut you off or anything, Chris, but if you look at Steve Carmichael's earlier videos, he started off pretty much the same way I did, but the boy, he's got it in his pocket. He knows his routine, and I'm over here in left field trying to figure stuff out still.
Left field's important too. Don't worry about it.
Okay, let's see. Paul St. George says, "Thank you all for confessing that your shops are like mine." Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a reason that only a couple of us are actually in the shops right now doing the videos.
That's the truth.
Not mine because I don't have air conditioning, and it's 90 degrees here. So.
Okay, let's see.
My wife's studying, and I have to stay out of the house.
We got some talk here on the group chat. We might as well bring that up. Who would you like to meet? If there's a woodworker out there, who would you like to meet?
Don't ask me.
Huh.
I don't want Mrs. Claus to find out.
Oh, yeah? Well, I've always been friends with Steve Ramsey, Laney, and Carmichael, so it would be a pleasure to meet those guys. But any of you guys, I'd love to meet any of you guys. Because, heck, I talk to you almost every week for God knows how long.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet me too. I wonder what kind of impression I would.
Yeah, man.
I'm the type of person I'd like to have lunch and talk shop with.
I don't know that I've got one specific that I'd like to meet, but like you, Brian, I'd like to meet any other woodworkers. Like I'm going to WIA in a few weeks, and I'm excited just to get to hang out, with other woodworkers because
You're gonna
where
go?
I live, yeah, I'm going.
You're so I'm jealous.
Yeah, I'm going. And like I said, it'll be cool just to hang out there because, like I said, earlier, I think before we was on air, I was talking about living in the rural area. There's not a lot of woodworkers. There's not even a woodworking store within an hour and a half of where I live. So, it's not really something that face-to-face I can interact with. That's why I love, things like this. And as I said earlier, being part of the community, just getting to know folks that love what I do and have that same kind of passion.
Let's see. Hold on a minute. Stark Raving Lunatic said Mike Fulton did that in his last video. What did he do in his last video?
Interviewed himself, I think. That's Shannon said something about meeting himself. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. I
That was
watched
the part
his first
two.
one, and I was like, That's enough for me.
I thought it was an interesting concept. It was funny.
I'm very fortunate. I've got 3 woodworkers or friends of mine that live. The one lives the farthest away is about 45 minutes from my house. 2 of them are within 10 to 15 minutes of my house. One of them's Bob, Triple B. He's on the forum, and he actually did one of the a show with me one night. He does Intarsia, and I had him on talking about Intarsia. He lives within 10, 15 minutes of me, and the other one is Steve French. I'm sure y'all heard of Steve French. He lives about 15 minutes from me. Matter of fact, I was just at his house the other day, and we were messing around. He's doing a project, and I was helping him on it. So I feel fortunate that, and plus we have a woodworking club that I belong to that's here in Lakeland, so in the area. So I'm very fortunate.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, how far are you away from Laney?
He's probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours from me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he lives up in
So
the.
you're between Laney and Carmichael, huh?
No. I'm at the bottom of the list in Florida. I would drive north to see Laney. He's probably about an hour and a half.
Oh, okay. So you're southern Florida.
Yeah, and then I would drive about 8 hours to be able to see Steve Carmichael.
Man. I'd love to go see those guys. I even like to go meet Charlie and Sarah over at Slovena Farms. They're pretty interesting to watch.
They got a cool looking shop.
So, David, who would you like to meet?
I don't know. I just said just whoever. It doesn't.
Isn't
Woodworkers that have the same kind of passion.
Isn't there a specific person that you'd like to meet?
Yeah, Shannon Fargo.
He's awesome. I met him the other day. He's taller than I expected, though.
I know if I get thrown under this bus, I'm dragging you with me, Brian.
Don't worry, brother. Your secret's safe with me.
You started it, David.
Yeah.
No, Tommy did. Tommy started all that.
Shannon, I forgot. Where you live at, Shannon, in Texas?
Yep, North Texas.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I'm north of the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
So you're north of Charles.
Yeah, he's more in the middle.
Yeah.
So I think
Jerry's
maybe a 5-hour shot to get to Charlie's house.
Where are you at, Chris? You're up there by New York, huh? Or in Boston?
No, I'm outside Boston.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
don't go to New York.
Where are you at, David?
I live in northeast Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Yep.
And we know Russ is in Florida. Shannon's in Texas. Where are you at, Todd?
I'm in my living room.
No, I mean, what's that?
I'm in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Oh, okay.
You're way up there.
Yeah, a little bit.
And Tommy, you're in Cali, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in California, and I just found out a few months ago I live only about 20 minutes from Patrick's workshop.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Patrick's pretty close.
Yeah.
He's one I'd like to meet. He seems like an interesting dude. He'd be fun to hang out with.
Yeah, he's a fun guy. I talk to him all
Yeah,
the
I'd
time.
like to sit and drink some beers with him. That'd be cool. Jerry and Charles, they're pretty close. Yeah, Jerry writes on here, I get to see Charles all the time, but I never kissed him, though, Russ.
Hey, once you kiss Charles, you'll never go back.
Oh.
Oh, no. What did the missus think?
I think I might be all right with that, actually, now that you say it out loud.
What did my wife say? She laughed. She thought it was funny as hell. She knows me. She wouldn't expect nothing less. I mean, in all sincerity, she knew she seen it. She just laughed.
That's funny.
That's cool.
Yes, Jerry posted on there this morning that once I gave him the kiss and now we're broke up or something like that. Anyway, some kind of thing on Facebook I thought was pretty funny. Matter of fact, I think I can read it here. He says, "Oh, it started with that kiss and now it's over. Both of you do a good job on the shows. Keep it up." So it
Oh, that's
started with the
good.
kiss. I told him, I said the kiss. Once I kissed him, it went downhill from there.
Yeah, see what you
Had a
did? You
falling
killed
down.
him off.
Oops.
It's no longer a mystery.
Well, I tell you what, I would like to meet Lynn. Lynn, she is very smart when it comes to finish working. So I'd like to pick her brain on that. And I'm going to be moving to Texas soon, hopefully. And when I do, I'd like to stop by and I'd like to see Jerry. I'd like to see Charles. I'd go see April if she had wanted to see me. Shannon, I'd like to stop by and see you. And then I'm going to head south.
There's a whole lot more on the south end of Texas on that side than there is this side. So
Yeah, we're planning on moving down towards Harlingen area. So I guess I'll be making trips to Mexico.
es posible, sí.
Yeah, me like it. You know, I actually get my hair cut for like $2, and they do it like within 5 minutes too, and it's perfect. I'm not talking about buzz jobs. I'm talking about a regular haircut.
Do they hold the bowl on top of your head?
No, actually, you know, you might want to talk some crap about him, but this guy, he's the best barber I've ever been to. And it was in Progreso, Mexico. And I mean, that guy, he had scissors in both hands, and he had combs in both hands. And he's like, if you think of Edward Scissorhands, that's how this guy was. He was good.
Yeah.
And $2. Here they charge you what, $20, $30 for a haircut now?
I pay $12 for one. Matter of fact, I just got my hair cut the other day. That's the reason it's so short.
Yeah, I use the military one on the base, like $6.
Oh yeah. God, everywhere I go around here and up in Idaho, they want to charge you like $20. It's like, you got to be kidding me. I go buy some clippers for $40 and do it lifetime. Let's see here. Jerry says, got to meet Carl Jacobson. Yes, Jerry, we know. You spoiled punk. I'd love to meet Carl, man.
Didn't know Jerry was on the A list, huh?
Last month with Eddie Daniels. Still been trying to meet up with Laney for the last few years. Yeah, me too. Best things.
I like John Schaffner's comment. I want to meet Russ. I want to feel his beard.
Oh, yeah, I missed that one. Let's see. Yeah. John goes, I want to meet Russ. I want to feel his beard. That's funny, John.
Yeah.
Let's see. Paul goes, best things that come out of Texas, I-10, I-20, and I-40. Yeah, I hear you. One time I went to go visit Mom and Dad, and we're trying to get out of Dallas. Had a night layover when they said our next bus was 20 minutes. It took them all night to get another bus. Then when we got on the bus, we were heading out of Dallas, and the stupid thing broke down. So we were stuck there for another, I don't know how many hours until they got that thing fixed. I didn't think I was getting out of Texas. That felt like a prison.
I can honestly say, now we drove from California through Nevada, New Mexico, into Texas, and let's see, Alabama, Louisiana, when we came home. And there's some crazy drivers in Texas.
Oh, I know.
I'm telling you.
Sorry about that. I was having a bad day.
You know what I didn't like about Texas when I was living in Idaho? They pulled me over for speeding when I was going the speed limit.
Oh, wow.
And since I wasn't in Texas and lived there, I couldn't stick around to fight it. So I had to pay a $200 fine just to pay for that ticket. And I think they do that just to nail you.
I mean, I'm sorry, Shannon, but a lot of drivers in Texas were rude. We almost watched a
I'm not going to argue with you on that one.
Huh?
I'm not going to argue with you much on that one.
A bad accident play out in front of us, and it was all because one truck driver wouldn't. You know how in certain places they have 3 lanes for a while. Well, the 2 outside lanes and a passing lane, and you can only pass for a while on your side, and then you go a little while, and you can pass for a while on that side. It flips back and forth. Well, the one truck was trying to pass the other truck, and I'll be danged if that butthole on the right-hand side didn't speed up to keep him from passing. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Because everybody was falling behind the truck that was on the right-hand side, and he was going slow as heck. But as soon as you tried to go around him, he speeded up to keep you from passing. So,
People like that everywhere. They're just bigger here.
yeah.
Have any of you guys traveled through Salt Lake?
Yeah,
I have.
God, I tell you what, that place is nuts. I got told by a cop to get going, and I was going the speed limit.
You're going too slow.
I was going the speed limit, and everybody's passing me like nothing, and they're like, you gotta get going. I'm like, what? I'm going the speed limit.
Dude, don't have to get in front of me in the morning commute. I'll go right over you.
Oh, I don't think you'd run over me. I was in a great big old 4x4. I'd run over you.
If you're clogging up the morning commute, our cities will pull you over, too. They want you to go with the flow. Never mind the speed limit.
I think one of the most interesting places I visited on the way home was Roswell, New Mexico.
Oh, yeah? I'd never been there.
They embrace aliens. I mean, everywhere you go, they got aliens all over the place. I mean, like, holy crap. You can't go into a convenience store without seeing all kind of alien memorabilia and T-shirts and stuff.
Yeah, I remember Ron went there, and he was showing some of that stuff. Yeah, that stuff's pretty crazy. I guess they got a spaceport there.
Yeah.
Where they could take you out into space. I don't know. Knowing my luck, that they'd probably shoot me up with some kind of stuff, and I would think I was in space or something. Let's see here. Okay. Stark Raving Lunatic says it would be a big goal. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay, thank you. Haircut, I bought clippers 5 years ago, 20 for the last 5. Okay, next you'll be talking about fashion accessories that match your hairstyles. Okay. I have a question for all of you. How many of you had comments about the shirt you were wearing if you were wearing a YouTuber shirt, even your own?
A YouTuber shirt?
I don't wear a YouTuber shirt. I wear my own shirt, simply creation.
They don't make them in my size.
I don't own anybody's shirts, so I've never had any comments on it.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah. No, I have one of Steve Ramsey's. Never mind, I do have one. Probably forgot about that.
Well, I don't support shirts because nobody sells them in my size, but anyway, the hats fit, and I wear Manhattan Wood Project. And then I got Rockin' H Woodshop, Bass Cap. I got Procon Tools, and then I have my own logo on my hat. So that's a thing that you guys could be thinking about. You know, as fat guys, don't buy shirts your size. So sell hats.
Yeah, About the closest thing I have is an Inventable shirt. Other than that, I've had a few comments about my firefighter shirts, but found that there's quite a few firefighters that watch YouTube. So
I'm a retired firefighter.
Yeah, I think we talked about that once.
Yep, I just spent 30 years working for the fire department here. I'm retired.
So yeah, that's about all the comments I got on shirts, shirt-wise.
Okay,
Well, that
well,
must be
that's
why we're seeing so many like stickers and that kind of stuff going up on people's machines and walls.
oh
for
yeah, talking about
show.
stickers. I'm going to be having mine here shortly. So the people that sent me stickers, I'll send you one back. And if you guys want a sticker, send me a sticker. I'll send one back. Or if you just want to purchase a sticker, I'll put them on my website for like $2 a piece. That includes shipping. How about you guys? You guys got any stickers that you want to promote or sell? How about you, Tommy?
Yeah, I've got stickers up for trade. I haven't really sold anything. If anybody wants a sticker, I can just send them one. So I have a whole stack of them.
I'll trade. I don't sell them, but I'll trade.
All right, cool. How about you, David? You got stickers?
Not yet. I'm actually looking at placing an order to get some in, and I'm going to do probably the same thing Tommy and Chris are doing. I'm probably just going to trade stickers.
Yeah, I just like doing the trade. But if they want to buy one, they can. If they want to just send me a self-addressed envelope, I'll send them one. I'm not too picky on it. How about you, Shannon? You got stickers made up?
No, I haven't done it yet. It's one of those things. It's on my list of stuff to do, but there's a lot of stuff on the list to do. So
mine's been on that list for a while, and since I got that great big old pile of stickers, I might as well return the favor. Plus, I came into a little bit of money, and I figured, well, if it's not now, it'll probably never be. So, so I went ahead.
I'm trying to think of something clever to do with mine, but
so I figured, well, I get done, and I went through stickerguy.com. He's about the cheapest that I could find.
Yeah, that's what I used to.
Yeah, I think that's who I use, the sticker guy got, Tom.
Yeah, and I mean, those stickers from that guy are great. Carmichael, he got them done there. That's who I learned that guy from. So, and I like Steve Carmichael's. Tommy, I got your sticker. It looks great. And Chris, I got yours too, and it looks great. So I have all the confidence in the world that mine will be just fine.
Yeah, the funny thing is, once you get yours, you decide, oh, I want to change the artwork.
No, I thought about it long and hard. That's why I even changed my logo.
Yeah.
And my maker's mark is pretty much the same as my sticker, same way with my header on my website, Facebook pages, my YouTube channels. I mean, I could have stayed with the, summer theme with all the colors, with like the sky and the ground and the sun. But heck, 3 or 4 colors, that would have ran me a pretty penny for a sticker.
Yeah, I looked at that too.
So I simplified it, and hopefully Steve Carmichael ain't too mad at me. Because I know his is black and white. But I try to make mine look different from his. Somebody wrote me. Oh, I think it's Russ. Oh, it's that time already. Well, anyway, that's all I got for this week. If any of you guys would like to talk about something in our next show, could you please leave it in the comment section? And you guys that are on the panel, I want to thank you for joining in tonight. And for the viewers, I want to thank you for watching. And you guys that are on the panel, if you have any suggestions or anything that you would like to talk about or show, let me know. I'd like to get into interviewing some people. So,
That sounds good.
how about you, David? Can I interview you next week?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. That's what we're gonna do next week. Is I'll have an interview. I can't even talk now. I'll have an interview with David Gunn over at DLG Woodworks.
Yes.
All right. See you guys next week. Thanks for watching.
Yes.